Ashley's mother-in-law texted her and said, hey, I'm going to be stopping by around 5 o'clock. Well, it turns out it was a terrible day for Ashley. So she quickly texted her mother-in-law and said, hey, actually, today is not a good day. We're super busy. It's just not good with the kids. Can we plan something for later this week? She didn't hear anything back. So quickly she got distracted. The kids are just running all over the place. They end up in the backyard playing, waiting for her husband, Ben, to get home when she gets another text. And it's not from her mother-in-law. It's from Ben, her husband, pleading with her to let his mom in. Confused, she walks around to the front of her house, and sure enough, she sees her mother-in-law standing on her front porch waiting to be let in. So what does Ashley do? She lets her in. She lets her in, gets her lemonade or iced tea. The kids start playing with grandma. They wait for Ben to get home. She starts making dinner. They have dinner together. Her mother-in-law leaves happy and full and content around 8 o'clock that night. And Ashley just sat there in the living room after her mother-in-law left, looking at her husband, Ben, just completely lost in his phone, thinking, what the heck? Like, am I invisible? She felt used. She was pretty pissed. She was really angry. And so she reached out to me and she just asked, okay, this is what just happened. It happens quite often, but it's almost like I'm a ghost in my marriage. Like, I don't matter what is going on. And after some discussion, I told her, I said, you might be in a drama triangle. And she didn't know what that was. And I thought, oh my gosh, if you don't know what that is, maybe someone else doesn't know what that is. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So I walked her through the drama triangle and what her next best step would be. And that's what we're going to talk about. But let me just unplug this while I'm not using the iPad, just because tech likes to talk to each other and I haven't figured out how to fix that without manually unplugging everything. But I just want to show you that this is not my thing. The drama triangle, this has been here for a really long time. But if you like to geek out like I do, I just want to show you what you can look up. So drama triangle, and it's from Stephen Karpman, and it was in like 1968, I think. Let me see here. Yeah, like 1968. Oh, here you can see it. So we have the hero, the villain, the victim. Sometimes it's called the persecutor, the rescuer, and the victim. But we're not, oh, that's from Ken Norton. Well, the original one from Stephen, that's who I want to see. Where is that? Right here. We have these, and you might recognize these terms. Like as soon as you, like the victim, rescuer, persecutor, that might ring some bells just in case you want to look it up. And you probably remember this just from high school, or if you went to college, we definitely talked about it in just early psych. So that's that. It's definitely not my thing. I just wanted to show you. And now we're going to talk about it. Like, why does a triangle even form? Like, what's the purpose? Because typically a pattern will form for a reason. And the reason is because the mom and child, they can't handle the emotional tension that is going on between them. And so they triangulate a third person. Sometimes you'll see this in parents. Like if parents have a lot of dysfunction, like between them in the marriage, they'll triangulate a child, which is so unfortunate, so unfortunate. But in this case, what we're talking about is a mom, an adult child, triangulating the spouse to offload all the emotional tension, all the weight, all the icky stuff that they don't know how to sort through. Like they just don't know how to do it. And so they put that all on the unsuspecting spouse, and it's up to them. They absorb it all. So when you look at this triangle, let me plug it back in. So if you hear any disturbance in the background, I'm very sorry, but it's important that we have some visuals. But if you look at this and you see, we have, it's going to come on. Here we go. We have the mother-in-law who pushes, the husband who absorbs, and the wife. This is just the dynamic here. The wife who absorbs. The wife, Ashley, is the only one suffering in this dynamic. The mother-in-law is always getting her way. The husband never has to deal with anything. And then Ashley is just, left standing there all by herself, carrying it all. Because it's really important. Like for us, a lot of women, we have been conditioned, we have been socialized to believe family harmony above all else. So what does this look like in practice? Like, let's just talk about some of the behaviors. So a mother-in-law who pushes, this is kind of just some of the characteristics. She's going to do lots of drop-ins. She's going to have lots of advice, and she's going to use guilt to get her way. So if a line has ever tried to be set, she's going to use tears and any type of emotional manipulation to still get her way. And a husband, so Ben is going to dismiss, that's just my mom, like minimize. And then, sorry, I'm just going to respell that. Minimize. And then after everything else, if nothing else works, he's just going to shut down because that's his defense system. So he's going to dismiss, minimize, it's really not that bad, and he's going to shut down. And Ashley is going to fix it. She's going to fix it. She's going to host. She's going to do anything to keep the peace. And again, that, has to do with our childhood. That has to do with a variety of things, but also just being conditioned and societal expectations that we keep the peace, and family harmony is above anything. So she will self-abandon over and over and over. And if you look at this, again, these two are super happy and content. They're not suffering at all, but her health is depleting. So the longer someone finds themselves in this dysfunctional pattern, the worse their health will get. Mind, body, soul, spirit, everything. It deteriorates you from the inside out, and it impacts every single fiber of your being. So the best thing you can do, and what I told Ashley, is to exit the drama triangle. Okay? I'm hoping that this isn't buzzing. I'm really sorry if it is. So to exit the drama triangle, what is this going to do? Well, immediately, because you need 3 people to participate in order for a triangle to exist, immediately, Ashley's going to be gone. And now the tension that was always there goes back where it's supposed to be, between the mom and the son, the mom and the adult child, or even the dad and the adult child. It goes between the parent and the adult child where it's supposed to be. So she cuts off herself so that she is not absorbing everything. They have to now deal with their own stuff. This is their stuff, and it was never hers to carry at all. And what happens is, for the husband, he can't just use avoidance anymore. It's not so easy. He can't just hide behind Ashley's kindness and how nice she is, and she'll host anyway. He actually has to take the call from his mom, listen to her, use emotional manipulation, pour her heart out to him because she didn't get her way, and he is left to carry it all. So it's really effective. It's very effective, and it's the first thing I would do if I was in Ashley's shoes. So what does this look like? Well, this looks like Ashley coming around. Let me unplug this. This looks like Ashley coming back around the house, seeing her mother-in-law on the porch, even though she told her today is not a good day. And rather than Ashley inviting her in, she is very pleasant and respectful. And she's like, "Oh, Linda, it's so good to see you. I feel so bad. Remember, today is not a good day. Can we set something up for, maybe Thursday or Sunday?" That's it. Now, when her mother-in-law leaves, she's going to be calling Ben, her son, going to be calling or texting. And what I would do if I was Ashley, as soon as my mother-in-law left, I would just send my husband a message and just say, "Hey, just so you know, earlier today, I told your mom, tonight was not a good night. She came anyway, so I gave her 2 alternative dates. The kids are so excited to see you. Dinner's at 6. So she's just letting him know, just as a courtesy, you're going to be getting a call from your mom, and this is what's up. And now all of a sudden, Ben can't just enjoy the evening because Ashley's whipping up dinner. She's given, her serving the mother-in-law lemonade. He can't hide behind any of that. He has to figure out what to do. And he has to figure out, okay, how do I cope with this? And it's on him. So the answer for exiting the triangle is just stop rescuing. Stop making it all better. Stop over functioning. It's literally stealing your life. Say your one thing, say your line, say your boundary, and then take one action that is aligned to mind that boundary. So if you're thinking, okay, That's great. But I have no idea how Ashley would be able to look her mother-in-law in her eyes as she's standing on her porch and actually say, get off my lawn, like in a nice way. How would she be able to live with herself? Like that guilt would eat me alive. Well, we will talk about that in the next video.